Number 1, Supertrain, 1979. National Broadcasting Company, or NBC's, Supertrain was conceived as the Love Boat on Rails, a surefire hit that merged the popular anthology drama format with a spectacle vehicle. But it ended up being more like Titanic on a television budget. The show featured a luxurious nuclear-powered train traveling across America, focusing on the personal dramas of its wealthy passengers and crew. The concept seemed foolproof. Take a successful formula and move it to an even more impressive vehicle. The execution, however, was a masterclass in how to spend enormous amounts of money while creating very little entertainment. NBC spared no expense on the physical production. The train itself was an impressive set piece, complete with a shopping center, a swimming pool, and a gymnasium. The sheer cost of maintaining the physical set and the logistics of filming the massive scale was astronomical. This painful mismatch was all the more apparent when viewers realized the writers had spent their budget on train cars instead of actual stories. Supertrain derailed after just 9 episodes, but not before becoming one of the most expensive flops in television history. Its failure was so spectacular that it effectively ended NBC's experiment with high-concept variety programming. The show proved that even a nuclear-powered setting couldn't compensate for a lack of engaging drama. Number 2, Man from Atlantis, 1977 to 1968. NBC's Man from Atlantis gave us Patrick Duffy as Mark Harris, the last survivor of Atlantis. Mark Harris worked with a government foundation while searching for others of his kind. Duffy played the aquatic hero with gills, webbed hands, and a distinctive swimming style that looked exactly like someone doing the butterfly stroke in slow motion. The show was a strange hybrid, part superhero adventure, part environmental drama, and part excuse to get Duffy wet in every episode. Duffy was the show's biggest asset, committing fully to the role despite some truly ridiculous situations. His portrayal of Mark Harris was genuinely alien, not just a human with superpowers, but a being from a completely different culture trying to navigate our world. This earnest performance sold the character, even when the script struggled with the complex premise. Man from Atlantis swam away after 17 episodes. While it never quite lived up to its premise, it offered something genuinely different in an era of cookie-cutter adventure shows. It became Duffy's breakout role before he achieved global fame as Bobby Ewing on Dallas. Number 3, Future Cop, 1976 to 1977. Future Cop was what happened when someone at ABC watched The $6 Million Man and thought, you know what? This needs more awkward android humor. The show featured Oscar winner Ernest Borgnine as a gruff police detective paired with John Amos as Haven, an android cop from the year 2020. Haven was supposed to be the ultimate law enforcement officer, but his literal programming mostly just confused everyone around him. The premise, a buddy cop show meets science fiction, had potential, but the execution was about as smooth as a square wheel. Haven was comically literal, emotionally tone-deaf, and prone to mechanical malfunctions at dramatically convenient moments. Ernest Borgnine, an Oscar winner, was reduced to explaining basic human emotions to a robot. He delivered his lines with the enthusiasm of someone reading a grocery list. The writing never quite decided if it wanted to be serious science fiction or campy comedy. The show lasted exactly 1 season. Future Cop proved that putting respected actors in ridiculous situations doesn't automatically create television magic. 5. Gemini Man, 1976. NBC's Gemini Man followed Sam Casey, a government agent who could turn invisible thanks to a special wristwatch. Ben Murphy starred as the see-through secret agent who had exactly 15 minutes of invisibility before his molecules would permanently scatter. This sounds less like a superpower and more like a really inconvenient medical condition. Gemini Man disappeared after just 11 episodes. The show suffered from a tiny budget that made the special effects look like someone was playing with a broken television set. The plot seemed written by a committee during a particularly uninspired lunch break. Murphy went on to better things, but this invisible flop remains a curious footnote in his career. Number 6, Cliffhangers, 1979. NBC's Cliffhangers was an ambitious attempt to recreate the movie serial experience for television audiences. Each episode featured 3 different adventure serials: Stop Susan Williams, The Secret Empire, and The Curse of Dracula. Each story ended on a literal cliffhanger before continuing the following week. The concept was interesting, bringing back the episodic thrills of 1940s movie serials for a modern audience. However, the show needed the kind of high production values that simply weren't available for weekly television in 1979. Furthermore, audiences weren't patient enough to wait for storylines that moved forward in such small increments. Cliffhangers fell off the cliff after just 10 episodes. Number 7, The Fantastic Journey, 1977. NBC's The Fantastic Journey followed a group of travelers trapped in the Bermuda Triangle, bouncing between different time zones and dimensions while searching for a way home. Think Quantum Leap meets Gilligan's Island, but with significantly less charm than either. The cast included a scientist, a doctor, and Ike Eisenman as a psychic teenager, because apparently every 1970s adventure show needed a kid with mysterious powers. They wandered through various parallel worlds, encountering everything from Atlantean civilizations to futuristic societies, usually while wearing the same clothes week after week. The journey ended after just 10 episodes. Number 8, Project UFO, 1978 to 1979. Project UFO was Jack Webb's attempt to bring his documentary-style approach to the world of unidentified flying objects. The show was based on the files of Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force's real investigation into UFO sightings. Webb, the creator of Dragnet, brought his trademark just the facts approach to extraterrestrial investigations. Episodes were structured like police procedurals, but focused on mysterious lights in the sky and alleged alien abductions. The show found its audience during the height of UFO hysteria in America, when close encounters of the third kind had made the subject mainstream. Project UFO flew away after 2 seasons and 26 episodes. Number 9, Bigfoot and Wild Boy, 1977 to 1978. Bigfoot and Wild Boy was exactly what it sounds like, a show about the legendary cryptid and his adopted human son protecting the wilderness. The series was part of the Croft Super Show, specializing in live-action children's adventure series with rubber monster suits. Ray Young played Bigfoot, a surprisingly articulate Sasquatch who spoke in simple sentences. Joseph Butcher played Wild Boy, who served as Bigfoot's companion and translator. Together, they fought poachers and polluters. The show maintained a nostalgic following among viewers who were willing to overlook production limitations in favor of adventure and environmental messages. These shows may not have lasted long, but they're undeniable proof that in the 1970s, network television was willing to take chances on concepts that today would never make it past the pitch meeting. Number 10, Holmes and Yo-Yo, 1976. If you thought Future Cop was a stretch, wait until you meet Holmes and Yo-Yo. This show took the buddy cop formula and added a high-tech disaster. It featured a clumsy human detective paired with a lifelike android partner named Yo-Yo. The catch? Yo-Yo was a walking technical glitch. He didn't just fight crime. He suffered from electromagnetic interference that caused him to sneeze uncontrollably, get the hiccups, or start printing out random data from his chest during a high-speed chase. It was a slapstick attempt at sci-fi that proved some mechanical ideas should have stayed on the drawing board. Number 11, Quark, 1977 to 1978. In the wake of the 1977 Star Wars phenomenon, every network was desperate for a space hit. NBC gave us Quark, but instead of Jedi and rebels, we got a team of interstellar garbage collectors on a ship shaped like a giant toilet. While it was intended as a parody of the sci-fi genre, the humor often landed as flat as a vacuum. With its bizarre costumes and recycled space tropes, Quark was a trashy take on the galaxy that was hauled away to the cancellation bin after just 8 episodes. Number 12, The San Pedro Beach Bums, 1977. ABC tried to capture the youth market by greenlighting a show about 5 young men living on an old houseboat in San Pedro. The premise? They didn't really have jobs, they didn't really have goals, they were just bums. It was the network's attempt to bring a laid-back, cool vibe to prime time. However, audiences quickly realized that watching 5 guys lounge around and get into low-stakes trouble was about as exciting as watching a tide go out. It turns out, doing nothing is a very hard concept to sell for 60 minutes a week. Number 13, Me and the Chimp, 1972. Long before the digital era, Hollywood had a strange obsession with animal sidekicks. Me and the Chimp is widely considered one of the worst sitcoms in history. The plot focused on a respected dentist whose life is turned upside down when his family adopts a chimpanzee named Buttons. The humor relied entirely on the chimp causing domestic chaos, flipping switches, ruining dinners, and generally making the human cast look incompetent. It was a show so conceptually thin that it insulted the intelligence of the viewers, the actors, and probably the chimp, too. Number 14, Pink Lady and Jeff on 1980. While technically airing at the very start of 1980, this show was the ultimate final gasp of 1970s variety show madness. The network decided to pair a Japanese pop duo who spoke almost no English with an American stand-up comedian. It was a linguistic train wreck. The show featured awkward sketch comedy, disco dance numbers, and a bizarre hot tub segment at the end of every episode. It remains a legendary example of network executives being completely out of touch with reality, creating a cultural mismatch that was as confusing as it was unwatchable. Did any of these ring a bell? Drop a comment with your favorite forgotten oddball from the decade that gave us everything from disco to Star Wars. Like this video if you've enjoyed the trip down television's strangest memory lane, and subscribe for more retro deep dives.